there's good news and there's bad news for the Jets. You want me to start with the good news
The
first?
Jets just sold out their last 6 games in a row.
But they're in the bottom 10% of occupancy as far as what they're selling out for the game. So they're only doing about 90 to 92% selling out for all their games, which when you compare Toronto's doing 99, Edmonton's doing 99. The only one below them is the Calgary Flames, Sharks, and Sabres.
Toronto's inflated, always has been. If you look at the lower bowl, those are a lot of corporate seats, and those people aren't even in the seats for the games.
When was the last time that they weren't doing that? Because I remember there was a time, probably late 90s, early 2000s, where it was all fans, but now the corporations have bought them up.
They would call it a sellout when it was half full, but all the tickets were sold. Mm-hmm. So it's inflating numbers. I don't give them as much credit as they deserve. Look, the fact that you're 92% capacity for the tenure of the season, that's fantastic. And people tag it with, but they're the best team in the league. They should be sold out. The economy doesn't support it right now. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. And we've talked about this before. The fact that they're at 92, they're 6 games in a row they've sold out. They're going to go into the playoffs and they will sell out every game. Mm-hmm. Canada Life Center outside will have 10,000 strong for the whiteout parties on Portage and Donald and Hargrave. There's no doubt that they will be supported in the playoffs, and we all know that's where really where NHL teams make their money, because they're not paying their players, and everything is gravy after that. Everything is fine. Why would you rather go to a game outside of Winnipeg? This is the place to be right now.
Winnipeg is a bit of a sinking ship. I think Saskatoon and Saskatchewan are on the up and up.
No!
But I bring this up for one reason. Bill Daly made a comment the other day. He was being interviewed, and they're asking about all these statistics, and he said, 25% of our revenue in the NHL comes from Canada. Well, okay. Montreal is 100% capacity with the biggest arena in the league. They're doing great. Toronto makes a lot of money. They're doing great. And then you have Calgary and Winnipeg. And so they asked him, the dollar's worse than when the Jets left in 96. It was 72 cents. It's now 68 at the time of recording. What is going to happen with the Jets? And he said, as long as they have a good playoff run, everything should be fine. And he did not look overly optimistic. So if it's, let's say they choke and it's a first-round bounce against the Blues, that doesn't sound overly promising.
Nah.
Because you have the smallest arena in the league.
Look, Buffalo. We brought up Buffalo. Why haven't they left that? What are they at? 48% capacity? They're under 50. They could move that team to Hamilton and save a lot of people that drive. They're not moving the Winnipeg Jets.
Sure, but
period.
Buffalo,
it's not happening.
But Buffalo's making money in USD. The Jets, although they pay their players and their staff in USD, they're making money in Canadian dollars, which again, 68 cents on the dollar.
Do you know how deep David Thompson's pockets are? He's one of the richest men in the world, let alone I think he's one of the top 2 richest men in Canada.
Well, isn't it Shipman? I thought Thompson, so basically, wasn't it Thompson? He owned the old Eaton Center, and Shipman's like, I need you to go in with me. And he said, okay, I'll go 50-50, but you're doing all the work. I'm just going to sit here and chill.
You're close. They were actually colleagues. They were college buddies, roommates. I don't know what the exact story is, but they knew each other in college. David Thompson was a media mogul. He had a media empire. He's got more money than most of the world. And Mark Chipman did extremely well in the auto business through the family. Had the day that the Jets left, he got to work and said, tell me what I need to do to get a team back here. And it was bringing the IHL and then the AHL and doing all the things and the Manitoba Moose. And finally, when the opportunity arrived, it was, okay, you need a co-signer because your pockets aren't deep enough. It's the same thing Ryan Reynolds said when he went on one of the late night shows. He had already had Wrexham, and then they were talking about him possibly being part of the ownership group in Ottawa.
The Senators.
Right.
Yep.
And he even said, listen, I got deep pockets, but I need like really deep pockets. All these guys do. So David Thompson is basically just a co-signer. I'm sure you've been in a situation before where you know somebody who's gone to buy a vehicle and it's like, I really want that vehicle, but I need a co-signer. Then you go find somebody who makes more money. That was the situation there. Yes, Mark Chipman is the face. He is the chairman of the board when it comes to the Winnipeg Jets. David Thompson is there in support. And if Mark Chipman goes to David Thompson and says, hey, we need some money to float this team for a couple of years, no problem. The team's not going anywhere.
I wonder if there is a point, though, where he's like, you know what, enough's getting enough. We haven't built this brand new hotel that we've been trying to build for 6-7 years now in downtown Winnipeg. The dollar's down. The economy's down. We got the smallest arena in the league, and we're still in the bottom 10% of occupancy for selling out the building. I don't know. Mark, you got to pull some more weight here. I don't have the money. Oh, well, maybe we're going to move. Do you see, too?
Hang on. But you have to keep in mind that dollar is not his fault. The fact that it's 70 cents on the dollar right now, that is not Mark Chipman's fault. That is not David Thompson's fault. That's not the NHL's fault. That's not the players' fault. That's not anybody's fault. That's just the way the economy rolls. You ride the ebbs and flows. You ride the ups and downs. The Winnipeg Jets are a very well-supported team for the size of the market. So I understand you're going with the whole building thing. I get it. that team is very well supported.
I don't know. I get it. They are well supported, but when you have the smallest arena in the league and you're still one of the smallest percentage basis, that's how many tickets you're selling. I don't know. Obviously, we have the voicemail. Call it in at any point in time. Let us know what you think. But I hope so. I hope the team stays.
Oh, I thought you said you had good news in all this. Like, tell me that's not the good news.
No, well, I mean, it could be the good news depending if you're in Saskatoon or not. But the good news is,
there's not a team going to Saskatoon. Like they've already said it's Houston, it's Phoenix, it's Atlanta, it's all of the markets that don't deserve it.
Did you see? Agreed. Did you see the expansion fee just to apply for an expansion team? Do you see what that total was?
Yeah, you got to have like $1 billion in the
Keep
bank.
going. 1.5 billion
Jeepers,
USD, by the way. So that's 2.2 Canadian billion dollars.
Wow.
And if the Liberals get in 3 weeks, that's going to be $3 billion with how the dollar is going to go after that. But
hey, more hockey content. It's might be old, it might be new, it might be a full episode, it might be a half episode, but you can click these boxes because who doesn't like clicking boxes?